Hello. Oh, that mic looks like it's really quiet on the old monitor. Can you hear me all right? Ba-doing, ba-doing, boing. How are we doing? This is a wee bit skew with. Shall we try and de-wonkify it? Do you really wonkify it? What's happening? Is there anybody there? Where are ye? Is Haps taking off? How do you mean taking off? Like an aeroplane. You can hear me. Thank God for that. I'm only a tad late. I'm only 20 minutes late for a scheduled broadcast. You know, if you were going on a date with me, that's exactly what would happen anyway. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about lurrrrrrrve and Peri Blind Date. Hey, how's it going? It's going not too badly. I'm still in pain. Actually, I probably should have taken another painkiller before I went live. All clear. Excellent. Time is 23:23 of the evening. 23 minutes past 11 at night. Hello, Tampa. How are we all? So, I'll let you tell me how your day's going and what's been happening, and then we'll have a chin wag. We'll have a good old chinny wag. There's no music on. Should we put music on in the background? Or will we leave it? I think we might leave it for a change. You'll probably be about 40 minutes late. I hear you. Hello, Los Angeles. Is this Helen? Is this Helen? No, Helen's just coming. Who else is it going to be? Hello, Colin. How's it going? How be thee? That's thrown me off. Is this Helen? Who else is it going to be if it's not me? Hello. Oh my goodness. What's happening? Tell me about. Hang on. I need to rectify my. Here we go. How big are my tits? Out of your league. That's how big my tits are. If you want a rough idea, see that photo that's on the cup? That is me with my bra on my head. Hang on. That is me with my bra on my head, right? So that gives you a rough idea that my tits are bigger than my head. All right? Just to answer your question, you pervert. Where were we? That's Raymond. That's not. It's Raymond from Periscope. It's fine. I know who that is. It's De La Ponce. It's Ponce being a Ponce. We've met in real life, and he has hugged me, so he has felt said tits pressed against him. He knows how big they are. He's been a dick. Anyway, this was meant to be a classy conversation about Peri Blind Date, and it's already descended into chaos. I need to move this because I'll tell you for why. I'm sitting at a weird wonky angle with my dodgy sciatica, and I need to be comfortable. Hang on. I need to stop twisting. I need to adjust this. It says Raymond on your profile, you knobber. It's not me, that's just your proper name. You've literally got it on your profile. Crikey. Hello, Helen. Keep it up. Oh my. Keep what up exactly? Oh. This is not going to go where I thought it was going to go. What's in the cup? The cup is tea. It's just Scottish blend, normal, bog standard tea with some milk in it. Nothing terribly exciting. I love how you say pervert. You're all very easily amused and easily pleased. Anyway, no one has answered me. How's your day going and what are you up to? Thank you for being so supportive. C.S. Murphy, I think you're probably one of the most talented people on the app. So I will continue to be in your broadcasts. Just FYI. There are a lot of people on this app with a lot of ego and not so much talent to back the ego up. And then there are people who are genuinely talented, and you're one of the latter. So I will be around watching you create. Day off, just rainy. Showing support. Showing support. Yes, quite. You ran some errands. Excellent. That sounds, at least it sounds productive. You washed your car. Get you showing us all up with your... What is going on with this pop filter? It feels like it's almost hitting me in the face. I feel like this is hitting the... I don't know what's going on with my furniture. I feel like I'm all like squished up. I feel like the camera's too close. I feel like the chair won't go any further back. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling a tad claustrophobic. Pervert and lurrrrrrve. Is there anyone in the chat looking for lurrrrrrve? Because your Auntie Helen might be able to fix it for you. For you, what is the normality? For you, what is the normality? In terms of what? Nothing's normal at the moment. We're all in a lockdown situation, thanks to COVID. Quiet day here, just grey, turned to evening, the usual, lots of coffee and tea. Sounds like my kind of day. Sounds like my kind of day. I'm trying to stretch out my dodgy sore leg. Yeah, I haven't been over the door today because I'm struggling with the sciatica still, and it hasn't quite rectified itself, so I haven't been particularly productive, and yet I seem to have been busy all day. Weird. Is lurrrrrrve a form of a curve? No. So, you're already in lurrrrrve. Oh, bless your heart. That's kind, that's sweet, that's nice. But for those of you who aren't in love, does anybody like to find love? Is anybody out there single and ready to mingle and looking for love? Anyone? No one? No? It's Valentine's Day in 2 weeks. Okay, it's time to hide, is it? What if you could share it romantically with a partner? You're looking for love. Are you looking for love, space love? You're literally called space love. I can't promise you any space love, but maybe we could find some earth love. Maybe. To love someone, first you love yourself. Why do you not love yourself? This is going to get deep. This broadcast wasn't supposed to be that deep, but I can feel it's going to go there. It's hard to date, and dating doesn't end with finding a mate. Let's not go down that conversation. Okay, basically the reason I'm having this conversation is because back in blah 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 blah. Hang on. Slurp. Back on Periscope, back in the day, I used to do a thing called Peri Blind Date, and I'm bringing it back to Haps. I'm going to reinvent Peri Blind Date on Haps. So, what we do is we bring someone in who wants to find love, and they tell us a little bit about themselves, and anyone in the room who might like to date them also comes in and tells us a little bit about themselves. First 3 people who volunteer come in, and the person who's the contestant asks them questions and narrows it down until we find a match. And then they toodle off happily ever after. That's the gist. I mean, we made a few connections. We had one genuine match where a couple in 2008, May 2019, met on Peri Blind Date. They moved in together. They had a baby. They're engaged. So it works. It might have only worked that once, but it does work. So because we have HAPs now, we can take it to another level. It's not just a case of people calling in the call-in and having a photo on the profile. We can actually reveal the person. You know, it'll be like the old Blind Date. I don't know if anybody in the UK remembers Blind Date with Cilla Black. We had a show on TV here where it was, you had the host Cilla Black and a contestant on a stool and then a screen and 3 contestants behind the screen, and they would narrow it down and then they would get to see each other. So it's a kind of internet version of that. You just get flooded with dick pics. Well, I'm hoping that won't be the case on HAPS. I'm hoping that HAPS has attracted a slightly higher class of person than the knob-ends that are generally on Periscope. Literally. So, I would like to bring this back. I want to do it on a Sunday evening, probably not as late as this, though. It'll probably be earlier than this. Like the dating game. Yeah. I never saw the dating game, but I'm presuming it's the same thing. So the time is about 11:30 here. I'm aiming to maybe do it around about 6 or 7 o'clock on a Sunday, our time. So that's what, maybe 4 hours ago? You want someone else to go first? What time would that be if we narrow it? Can someone convert the time zones for me? So if it was, say, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. GMT, what would that be on other time zones? I think maybe lunchtime in the States, maybe, depending on where. And in 2 weeks' time, it's Valentine's Day. So I don't know whether to launch it on Valentine's Day or whether to launch it next week and then have it up and running for Valentine's Day. We'll need to figure that out. Would anybody like to come in and, you know, we can do a dry run and explain how this would work? I need to figure out, I can't blacken out people's cameras. I would need to get the guests to do that, to switch their cameras off when they came in the call-in. If you did it 6 your time, it would be noon CST. Yeah, so about noon. It's the Super Bowl in the States. Well, Irvin, you know, that's fair enough, but, you know, I know that this app is, you know, American-centric, but there are other countries in the world, so I'm not catering just for Americans. If they want to watch the Super Bowl, that's fine. I know that other people seem to have forgotten that there are other countries. So we've got the whole of Europe and Australia and the rest of the globe, not just America. So we'll see. But search love, it would find a soulmate. What do you think, Helen? It said search love, it would find a soulmate. It said search love, it would find a soulmate. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. You'll need to clarify what you mean by that. I've noticed that, though. I mean, I know that most of the broadcasters on here probably are in the States, but I've noticed in the short space of time that I've been here that it is... Most of the broadcasters that are from America seem to forget that there aren't just Americans on the app. I've noticed that. How loud is that air purifier in the background, by the way? I've just realised that that's still running. Has the mic picked that up, or is it all right? Is it tolerable? Cheers. Hello, Heavenly Dew. Well, I can't guarantee you'll find the right person. That's not my job. My job is to introduce you to people, and then you go away and have conversations with them and then decide whether they're the right person. I'm not like an angelic being. I can't be matching people's souls. I really wish they would be able to share all the comments on all platforms. Yeah. You'll have to come into Haps to see them all. I think that's intentional, though. I think it's obviously intentional that if you want to see what everyone's saying, you have to come into the actual app. You don't hear it at all. Excellent. That's good to know. That's good to know. I didn't put any music on this time. Every time I play music in the background, my videos get muted. You're not very good in English. Now, that's okay, but it's not my job to find your soulmate. That's your own shout out. If you're coming in here thinking I'm going to find you a soulmate, your expectations might be slightly high. But I can introduce people to each other and have a little bit of a laugh along the way. This has got all deep and heavy, and it wasn't meant to be deep and heavy. It's just a bit of fun. Brenda, I'm not at home, don't have enough data. Fair enough. Has this show produced memorable interactions here on Periscope? I already explained that. You can watch the replay. Where does it get muted? Where does it get muted? Oh, Facebook and YouTube. And I just let all socials run this time because I was hoping that people would see this and then come back in when I actually kickstart Peri Blind Date. And I'm calling it Peri Blind Date. Last time I discussed this, someone says, why are you calling it Peri Blind Date? I'm calling it Peri Blind Date because it's always been Peri Blind Date. And the hashtag has always been Peri Blind Date. And it's a continuation of Peri Blind Date on Haps. So it's like an homage to Periscope, even when Periscope dies. Hello, first time on your scope. Hi. I'm actually not on scope, I'm on Haps, but I get what you're saying. Mike Kaig. Mike Calg. Is that Mike Calg? I'm guessing it's someone called Mike in Calgary, maybe. Looking for love is also experience of life. This isn't a philosophical debate. People either want to take part or they don't. It's a light-hearted way of meeting people. I feel like, I don't know, the vibe I'm getting off of you is it's heavy duty. Heavy duty, man. I never meant to hurt you, girl. I feel weird without having any music on. And nobody's wanted to call in, so I don't know. It feels awkward not having any music in the background because I've always got music on. Maybe we should put some on. Let's just open Spotify. Well, the other thing as well is that there are people on this app who, I mean, someone said yesterday there's something like 30,000 people on the app. We only ever see the same 24 people on the timeline all the time. So maybe it's a way for people just to meet each other. You know what I mean? Even if nothing comes of it, maybe it's just a way for people to meet each other. Yeah, I don't want to get into the whole, like, soulmate thing. Bum, 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 bum. What should we listen to? I feel like we listen to an awful lot of Empathy Test. But I kind of feel like listening to Empathy Test. Is that loud? I don't know how loud that is. Can you guys tell me how loud that is and if you can hear my voice over the top of it? Yeah, I get you, Michelle.
I really mean that much. Why pretend that you love him? Don't call me out blue. It's clear that I still do. You know he knows it too. Going home alone, the only love I know. It's always been you.
Excellent. Would anybody like to call in? I feel like I've already exhausted the conversation about Penny Blind Date. Hello from Sacramento. Is that who I think it is? Did you set up another account? Can I look at your profile while I'm broadcasting, or will it kick me out? Do you do a lot of observing, RJ? Hello. I was just talking about Penny Blind Date, and I feel like the conversation's dried up already. Part of me wants to try to demonstrate it, but I don't know if that's a bad idea. Tazai, he says I'm here. I better follow this account then, because I'm not following it. There we go. Does everybody understand the premise of Penny Blind Date, or do I need to explain it? Do I need to run through a demonstration of it? And are you all on board with it being launched next week, even though it's the Super Bowl? You don't know. What don't you know? Okay. So, relaunching Penny Blind Date. And the way that Penny Blind Date used to work was I would bring in a contestant and they would tell us a bit about themselves. I'd bring them in on the call-in and they would tell us about themselves. And then the first 3 people who would like to date them would call in. And then the contestant would ask them questions and then narrow it down until there was one person left. And then that would be a match. And then they would go away and, message each other and stay in touch or whatever. On here, we can take it to a new level because we can have people talk to each other, but then we can reveal their faces when when it's time to reveal them. Well, that's what I was going to say. I would have to get each of them to I can't, as the broadcaster, I can't darken their camera. What I could do is I could have all the cameras off and just put up, contestant 1, like images saying contestant 1, contestant 2 or whatever, or they could switch their own cameras off And then as the person who's playing the game decides to, filter down, say for example, they said they want to drop contestant number 2. Contestant number 2 could then be revealed and then leave the broadcast until they were left with. I need to run through a practical demonstration of how that would actually pan out. I do need to do that. But I think it would be quite good if we have the reveal at the end where they get to see each other for the first time. We all get to see them seeing each other for the first time. And I think we still need to do it that way. We still need to do it as a blind date, because obviously if people know what other people look like, they're just going to pick the most attractive looking person rather than basing it on personality or answers, or that's boring. That's really predictable. They can still see each other in the broadcast studio though, unless they muted their own. That's what I'm saying. So they need to switch their own. They need to switch. They need to switch. They need to switch their own cameras off. Although the images in the broadcast studio are tiny, but yeah, they would need to switch their own cameras off. I think it'll be fun. Someone says not to do it next week because the Super Bowl's on, and I'm saying, well, there are other countries in the world other than just America. And also it might be nice to start it the week before Valentine's Day so that we're actually in the flow by Valentine's Day. Because Valentine's Day is in 2 weeks' time. And theoretically, all the singletons shouldn't be doing anything on Valentine's Day. All the happy married couples will be. Sweet! That's a new word I've just invented. Sweet! Michelle, you need to switch. You like America. Nobody said anything about not liking America. I'm just saying the whole world can't base its schedule and timetable on America. Sorry. I'm sorry if that, hurts your ego. Now that we've talked about Peri Blind Date, does anybody want to come in and have a chat with me? Dating is hard enough without removing information. What information am I removing? I think our only plan is to indulge in chocolate. I like that plan. Ego is still in place. Good. I wouldn't want to cuck your ego. I finished that cup of tea already and I want another one. Who wants invited in for a chin wag? Anybody? What questions do you ask? Oh, I don't ask the questions. The person who's the contestant asks the questions. I mean, okay, do you want, okay, shall we do a dry run? I need 2 people. I mean, obviously in a real life situation, it would be 4 people. It would be the contestant and 3 volunteers. It doesn't hurt your eagle. Fly like an eagle. So basically, hi Robin, I would ask the first person who wants to play the game questions about them first. A little bit about themselves, a lot about what they want or would like in a partner, how tall they are, what they do for a job, that kind of thing, basics, right? And then I might ask the same sort of thing, like, where are you from, what's your name, what age are you, blah, blah, blah. And then the person who is actually playing the game gets to ask them questions. You're not volunteering. You couldn't anyway because you're on Facebook and you need to be in HAPS to play. In fact, you build a picture in your mind when you only hear a voice and then expectations meet or disappoint. Well, that's the game. That's the game. But if you see what someone looks like, then you're solely basing your expectations on their looks, and that's a bit superficial, isn't it? Because naturally you're going to write someone off who's less attractive than the most attractive person based on how attractive you find someone. Vincent, nobody's making you play the game. Nobody's making you join. I don't have a gun to your head forcing you to take part. In fact, I've already decided you can't play. You're not getting to play. You'll be excluded. Does anybody want to come in for a chin wag? Oh, my Wi-Fi's disconnected my camera. It'll come back. Here we go. Hello from Sacramento. How many accounts have you got? Who can't play? The guy who's questioning whether or not relationships should be a game. I can't be bothered with trying to justify it to anyone. They either want to play or they don't want to play the game. Nope, I'm not interested in a discussion. I'm telling people about this thing that's happening on HAPS next week, as of next week on a Sunday afternoon, and you can either take part or not. It's not up for philosophical debate. It's not up for questioning my motives. It's just a thing that's going to happen. Everybody else has their own little show, their own little broadcasts on HAPS, and that's going to be mine. And you can either take part or not. You're not taking part. So that's cool. Oh, you changed the name. Okay, fine, fair enough. Hi, Houston. Stick to Tinder, Vincent. Because that's, in no way is Tinder a game. Constantly swiping and permanently window shopping for something better, that's not a game, is it? So you stick to Tinder. Swiping on someone based on the superficiality of what they look like and then finding out that you've been catfished because you're a superficial asshole, that's not a game. So you stick to Tinder. I know, Michelle. Fucking hell. Anybody who's been around on Periscope for at least a couple of years knows that this is something that I've been doing for a long time. I stopped it for a while because of trolls, because of assholes, and decided to bring it back on HAPS because it has another element, another dimension. We can actually reveal the person and they can meet each other face to face for the first time. We couldn't do that on Periscope. We're relying on whether or not the person had their real photo on their profile. Okay, nobody's going to get catfished here because they're going to be revealing their face at the end of the game. RJ, I've only been live for half an hour and I'm already fucking rattled. I'm already pissed off. Will I bother? Should I bother? I'm trying to do something that actually has worked in the past. I already explained at the start of the broadcast, we had an actual couple who are now living together and are engaged and have had a baby. It works. Or it has worked in the past, but it depends on what you put into it. If you're going to come into it and be an asshole, then it's not going to work, is it? Okay, it's an opportunity to meet people. You exchange details and you go away and have a chit chat. I'm not standing here like with a priest's fucking outfit ready to marry you off. Nor am I proclaiming to connect soulmates. Jesus. I'm from Scotland. I'm from Edinburgh in Scotland. Does anybody want to come up and have a chat with me? Because I kind of feel like the conversation about Peri Blinday's already run its course. I need more tea, man. And I'm sitting in pain as well. I need another painkiller. Exactly, RJ. Is there anybody in the chat? Let's do a dry run and I'll show you how this might or might not work. Is there anybody in the chat who is single, who is looking to meet a special person in their life? That's the only prerequisite, is that you have to be single. Yeah, I'm going to make a cup of tea and have a cocoa de mol. You're right, Michelle. Okay. You want to find someone in Scotland? You would, but you can't. But you know what you could do? You could come in and you could demonstrate for me. And I could explain to people how it would work based on your interact. Like we could do a dry run. Obviously, you're not going to be dating anybody because you're in a relationship, but you could come in and help me out. And I could explain how it would work. Because I don't think people are quite grasping what it is I'm trying to say. It's not that difficult to understand, but I don't know if I've got a particularly like slow audience in tonight, or if it's my accent that's fucking it up or what, but people don't seem to be understanding. Oh yeah. Well, those experts and their advice, those experts are usually trying to make money somehow, aren't they? There's always an angle. Okay, Bob's sleeping, no worries. Listen, I'm going to make a cup of tea. Is RJ still here? Would you like to come in and look after my broadcast for me while I make a cup of cha? Hello, Mrs. Vicarage. How be thee? You've caught me at a slightly exasperated moment. I'm trying to explain Perry Blind Date. It's not going down too well. All right, you're staying in the cheap seats. So nobody wants to come in and look after my broadcast for me while I put the kettle on. You bunch of lightweights. Ho hum. Have a cup of... No, I don't want to restart again. I can't be bothered. If I end the broadcast, I won't come back. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling. I didn't realise I was going to have to sit and like argue about whether, why, or how I should be doing this. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to be fucking... I wasn't expecting to be fucking... like... I don't know, picked apart. You're not showered and you're not proper looking. I'm not showered and proper looking. So what's new? I think I'm funny. Okay, I'm going to stick the kettle on. I'm going to leave you with some... empathy test in the background. So well defined, but I cannot be without you, making worlds in my head aching, still chasing dreams that you made for me. No, I was trying to explain about Perry Blind Date, and then I had people questioning me about, you know, how can you connect soulmates? And then I had someone telling me that, you know, dating shouldn't be a game. And I'm sitting here thinking, lighten up. And this is probably less of a game than Tinder. Anyway, I'm only playing RJ, you know this. Hello, Ricky. How be it? How be thee? How's it going? I need tea. Put it this way, I'm not here to take the piss out of anyone. I'm not here to make a fool of anyone, okay? I'm really very easy to talk to. And it's a bit of fun. But it's not, it's a bit of fun, but it is genuine. I am genuinely trying to connect people. What you do with the connection is entirely up to you. Do you know what I'm saying? What you choose to do with the connection is entirely up to you. Once you leave the broadcast, there's absolutely, I've got fuck all control over that. So basically, you know, you've got the opportunity to exchange information with 3 people, you go away and you have a chat. And that happened to result in a couple getting together at one point last year, the year before last, May 2019. Okay, so it has worked. But you know, there's no guarantee. There's no money back guarantee. I'm not charging you for your fucking. It's just a bit of fun, and it goes wherever you want it to go. You're in control of your own situation. I'm sitting here really uncomfortable. This position's really hurting me. The dating game was a hugely successful TV show in the States, much like your game, lighting up people. It sounds very much like the dating game was the same as what we had in the UK. It was called Blind Date. And it is essentially, it is a blind date. That's what it is. Or your dating game. Same thing. I'm going to make a cup of cha. And no, they can be anywhere in the world. They can be anywhere in the world. Obviously, if you match with someone in the same country or the same state as you, it'll be easier for you to physically meet each other. But there's no, the only prerequisite for taking part is that you must be single, because I'm not going to be party to anybody cheating on anyone. You can't be in a relationship. You must be single. But other than that, it doesn't matter where you're from. You signed up to HAPS. Excellent, Robin. That's really cool. Listen, I'm going to go very quickly make a cup of tea and stretch my leg for a little second, and I'll be back. I'm going to just leave you with empathy test in the background. You guys can chat amongst yourselves in the cheap seats, unless anybody particularly wants to come up and, what's your name and where'd you come from? That's what Scylla used to say in her Liverpudlian accent. What's your name and where'd you come from? That's basically what it is. In fact, when I used to do it on Periscope, I even played the Blind Date theme music. I'm a little bit taken aback by the negativity, to be honest. I'm not quite sure where that shit's coming from. I'm going to mute my mic. I'll be back in a... Oh, no, I can't mute my mic because then you won't hear the music. I'll turn my... Oh, I can't do that either. You'll just have to hear me boiling the kettle in the background. I'm back in a wee minute. I'm a little bit slow on my feet at the moment. Ow. What have I missed? Oh. You're looking for love, but you'll tune in with popcorn. Excellent. Right. Is everyone still here, or have they all buggered off? Hello, Jace the Who. Hello again, RJ. Always BRBing. Hello, Robin Smith. Right. So sore. Oh, I know what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I should have taken 2 of these. I only took 1 of these. What were we talking about? Can't remember. Actually, that may be too hot to take that with at the moment. You're still there. Awesomeness. Yeah, I'm a bit like, okay, well, I'm not bothered doing this then. Because I kind of thought it would go down well on here. All present and correct. Duly noted. I'll take you off the register. Michelle's here. You've signed up, but you've no idea what you're doing. So what's new, Robin? You're chilling in my cheap seats. That's what you're doing. It's all good. You're still there. Excellent. What do you want to talk about then, guys? Because Penny Blind Date fell flat. Nobody wants to talk about that. Hello, Jace the Who. Have I said hi to everyone who's in? I think so. We are still so small. What do you want to talk about? You can talk about anything you want. Slurp. Oft. Holy rivers, we run like tears through the flood of holy rivers. We run like tears through the flood of holy rivers. I've got a biscuit. I'm having a biscuit with my cup of tea. So there. You're sorting out your DVDs. Helen, you rock. Shucks, thanks. I'm not sure about this Penny Blind Date thing now. I wasn't really expecting people to question it and analyse it, you know? Stay close to your television tonight. Yeah, it's really a good idea if people want to participate in it though, Michelle. And it sounds like, I don't know. There's no point in flogging a dead horse, as they say. It's too scary. What's scary? Talking to other people. Having conversations with people. There's something in this eye. That's annoying. No carbs for me, biscuits. Yeah. Some of these commenters were from the previous app. No, they were in here. I'm pretty sure they were HAPS people. I don't think they were commenting from elsewhere. Have you noticed I never sleep? I try to. It's not for the want of trying. I'm going through a lot of pain at the moment, which actually reminds me I need to take that painkiller. many crazies. Define crazies. I mean, dating's always been scary, particularly for women, when you don't know whether or not you meet someone that might try and murder you or rape you. It's always been scary. Define what you mean by crazies. Favorite Disney movie? Oh God, all of them. Surrounding me, I've been living in fear of disappearing, no one hearing me. Surely, if you're given an opportunity then to meet someone and interact with them face to face in a two-way video calling situation, surely that's safer than, you know, meeting someone on Tinder and then turning up and finding out you've been catfished. Surely this is a safer way of meeting people. There's definitely something in this eye and it's really bugging me. I'm going to have to just sit and blink a lot. I'm not winking at you. I don't have a nervous twitch. I'm just trying to blink out whatever the hell it is that's in that eye. Favorite Disney movie? I don't have a favorite Disney movie. I used to get called Snow White when I was a kid. Just as much chance of meeting a nutter at a pub or club as you do online. Well, nutters are nutters regardless of where they are. I want to know what he means by that though. Like, there's too many crazies. Like, I want to know what that means. How come you're single? Who says that I'm single? I haven't said what my status is. There's too many people on this earth anyway. You can chat on the internet and on video chat until you feel safe. Nutters. Yeah, but I don't know what you mean by that, Gregory. And if you don't explain it, I'm going to block you because you're pissing me off. I want you to explain what you mean by that. Are you saying that the HAPS community are nutters? What is it you're saying? Explain yourself. Clarify it. build me your own way. I have been this shape too long. What's your favourite Disney movie, Robin? What made you ask the question? Hi, Paul. How are you doing? Things are all right except for my dodgy leg, my dodgy sciatica. But apart from that, hunky dory, man. How are you doing? I'd actually forgotten I'd put this out to Facebook. Does that mean all my radio people are watching this? I'm going to have to delete this because it's just grumpy Helen being moody. Getting agitated by people's stupid comments. I still never took the painkiller. That's the whole point in making the cup of tea, and I've nearly finished the cup of tea already. There we go. Shilly me. Shilly Billy. Shilly me. This app is bizarre. All these little notifications and coins and stuff. Pressed the wrong button and left the broadcast momentarily. But you're back now. So it's all good. No sciatica. I'm doing lots of dog walking, although not right at this moment. I mean, that's be weird. When you're walking the dog whilst watching Facebook, you'd have to be careful not to trod in the poo. I do need a bigger mug. You're right. I mean, don't get me wrong. These mugs are great, and you know they're available to buy. But it's yeah, not for the amount of tea that I drink. Thank you for the Got Talent Award. Much appreciated. Tip on my tongue for too long. I feel like the conversation's kind of dried up a little bit. It's the internet. Yes, indeed, you are right. I came on in a good mood, and now I'm just sitting here like, why did I bother broadcasting? Like, why did I bother hitting the go live button? And that's how it was starting to feel on Periscope, which is why I stopped scoping. I didn't expect to start getting exasperated here after only being here for 4 weeks or whatever it is. When did I join this app? A month ago. You're listening. I'm glad you're listening, Michelle. Big mugs really have decent pictures or phrases. This is true. Mine says, well, hello, on the back. And it's got me with my brow on my head. Periscope seems to be a lot of ranting and singing. Ranting and singing sounds like my kind of thing. How many apps and platforms do you go out to then? So this HAPS broadcast is going out to Periscope, whilst Periscope's closing down at the end of March, I think. But at the moment, this is going out to Periscope, it's going out to YouTube, it's going out to Twitter, and it's going out to 2 Facebook pages. And I'd forgotten that I had allowed it to go out to my radio Facebook page. See, you've moved on a little too fast. COVID fear culture thing. Everybody is not at their best. It has been a very weird year. You are correct. I think the whole internet dating thing as well has people. It's a vicious cycle because I think part of the problem is nobody wants to be in relationships. They want to hook up, but they don't want to actually be in a relationship. And I think internet dating's got a lot to do with that constant, window shopping. So when you're actually talking about finding love, which is what I've put in the title, maybe that was the wrong thing to title it because people have come in all like heavy duty. Doesn't everybody want to be loved? Isn't that ultimately, the goal, to love someone and be loved equally in return? Is that not what most human beings want? Or am I way off the mark there? Why is Periscope stopping? I don't know. You'll have to ask Twitter. To light my way. Won't take up too much of your time, or leave the night alone. Anywho's, you should be happy in your own skin first, in my humble opinion. Who has said otherwise? Who has said that that's not the case? Who has sat here and said you shouldn't be comfortable in your own skin? Far from it, quite the opposite. Weird. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like sometimes on the internet, people cannot help but try to be deliberately contentious or contrary. Doesn't matter what you say or what your viewpoint is on whatever subject, people feel the need to debate it. And some things just aren't up for debate. Sometimes there just is no debate. I don't know what it is about the title of this broadcast that makes people think that they're to come in here and debate me on it. Weird, isn't it, Michelle? Is there anything about the title of this broadcast that makes it look like I'm looking for a debate over something? Hi, let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. Ooh. Exactly. That's how I feel, Michelle. I feel like it's an argument. Weird. If I sit and analyse it, it's actually fascinating. The title was, Are You Looking for Love? Because I was bringing back Perry Blind Date on Haps, which I'm now questioning. wondering why too. I mean, one time I was just simply drawing flowers and literally 2 people wanted to argue with me about why I draw that and how could people be into me drawing flowers. Weird. Very weird. Oh, thanks, Paul. You were so quiet, I'd forgotten you were there. I thought you disappeared. Thanks for popping in. See ya. I just feel like, yeah, it's like a weird thing that everything's up for debate. I get that people are frustrated and angry at the moment about all kinds of things, but surely something like this, you know, the whole Penny Blind Date or whatever, you drawing flowers, surely that's an escapism from the real world for half an hour. But why you want to bring that shit in? It's like when people want to sit and talk about COVID and my scopes, it's like, that's all we ever talk about now. What did we talk about before COVID? Like, this is, you're leaving that shit at the door, you're not bringing it in. Strange. Don't get me wrong, I do like a debate, but there's a time and a place for it. And I hadn't expected this broadcast to be contentious. And now I'm just thinking, why the fuck did I bother going live? This is just normal, regular tea. Don't know, you'd get, maybe call it English breakfast tea. I don't know what you'd call it. It's just a normal tea with milk in it. It's black tea. Right, well. I know, weird. I totally agree, Michelle. I even had to double check. I actually needed to double check the title of the scope broadcast. I needed to check the title because I thought I had said something that was debatable. Simply where I find myself. I'm going to be deleting all of these off my platforms. So that I've been meaning to go live all day. I've been going to go live since about 6 o'clock this evening and haven't been able to, through between the pain in my leg and I was downloading stuff, and for various reasons I haven't been able to go live all day. I finally did go live and I'm like, why did I bother going live? Anywho, I don't really have anything to say. You have days like that. It's so fucking weird. I wanted to come in, I wanted to tell people about this thing that's happening. I wanted to, build it up, gauge interest, explain what it was, hopefully launch it next week. And I don't feel like there's really been any positive, like I feel like it's all been negative, which is really strange to me. Because no disrespect to the other broadcasters on this app, but it's much of a sameness. Do you know what I mean? Like, there isn't something like that on. There's lots of art scopes, there's lots of music scopes, there's lots of cooking scopes, there's lots of sunrises or sunsets. Do you know what I mean? I want to do something a little bit different. Where I find myself. Why haven't you done your art yet, Michelle? People are obsessed with getting those 250 views right now. So not exactly a creative moment. I know that's... But even before that challenge was announced, there was a lot of talk of numbers. There being a, hi Mark, how's it going? There being an obsession with numbers. And I've never given a shit about the numbers. And it's weird when you go into someone's broadcast and all they talk about is, okay, how many people have we got in now? Even before the challenge was announced, and it's like, why not just do the broadcast and enjoy it and enjoy interacting with people? Why are you worried about how many viewers you've got or how much growth you're getting or, how many replays you're getting? Or it's weird. Oh, okay, because Bob's been... Oh, yeah, you did. You told me that. And he's got his back pain, which sucks. I know how that feels. Mark doesn't need to uplift my spirits. I just feel like I came in to tell people, and I was hoping to launch this thing, and then it's getting into a debate about soulmates and shit, and it's like I haven't made any claims. I'm not claiming to match souls. I wish Michelle and Mark could both call in and have a chat about this. That isn't what we've been talking about, by the way. This is just something that's just cropped up. I have noticed it though. I have noticed this like obsession with numbers, but I'm not talking about in regards to the challenge. I'm even talking about before the challenge was announced. Broadcasters who, on the face of it seem to be about one thing, but actually when you sit and analyse them, only seem to be about the clout chasing. What we used to call clout chasing in the old days. It's weird. No, like I say, that isn't what we've been... This is the first time this has been mentioned. You can go back and see the replay. We weren't actually talking about any of that, but that's just cropped up. I do feel like I didn't expect a dating game to be controversial or contentious or open for debate or so deep, really. Not a problem, Mark. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. It's always nice to see your face. But I mean, I've even heard people talking about certain bigger broadcasters complaining that the numbers were dropped from 500 to 250 because it means that more people can attain the challenge. And it's like, but surely the whole point is to get as many people involved as possible. There's a lot of ego. I'm starting to see already in the month that I've been here. There's a lot of ego. And one thing I really struggle with is ego. When it's ego over substance or over talent, that I struggle with that. Again, that's another thing that we're, I guess it's all connected. I feel like Mark's come in here thinking that we're criticising the challenge or the app, and that isn't what the conversation has been about at all whatsoever. Like, I hope he doesn't think that that's what we were discussing. Because that's not accurate. Hello. Welcome. How are we pronouncing it? Dimity? Basically, I wanted to launch Penny Blind Date on a Sunday evening, and I've got people debating it as if it's a contentious subject open for debate, which I find really bizarre. And that's what we were talking about. And now I'm sitting thinking, why did I bother going live? Because I feel like I've I wanted to announce this thing. If Mark's getting in the car, Michelle, he won't be able to read the comments. And it feels like as well, you're never going to be able to please all of the people all of the time. Like, Mark's come in here and he probably thinks we're criticising the challenge, which isn't the case at all. But he's probably sitting there thinking, nobody's ever fucking happy. There's always somebody moaning about something. You're always over-explaining. You're not over-explaining, but I don't know what happened. Like, right at that moment, he probably misunderstands what it was that we were talking about, But you're right. The focus is on the challenge thing, and now fair enough. That's what's been launched. But I'm talking even before the challenge was announced. There are broadcasters on here who would go on daily and always make reference to how many viewers they'd had in or how many replay viewers they'd had, and it's like, are you only broadcasting just for views, or are you broadcasting because you want to broadcast about this topic that you're broadcasting about? Do you know what I'm saying? Because then what do? Okay, you get numbers, then what? What does that translate to? Is it hi Hamza? Is it or that every topic is a point of criticism? Well, like I say, that's what it felt like. It felt like this was everything's been negative in this broadcast. And it was meant to be a positive broadcast. But the whole thing about how many followers you've got or how many views you've got or how many, then what? What does that actually mean? What does that translate to? Popularity? A boost in ego? Does it bring you money to pay your electricity bill? Like, what is it? What is to be gained by being worried about how many people have viewed your broadcast? Like, what is that? To me, that's just about ego. No, I've got a Periscope broadcast on Twitter that had 38,000 people watch it. So what? It means absolutely. Oh, hi Jen. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't understand the The mentality. I can't understand the connection. What does it mean? To people who have more followers, are they better people? Are they better broadcasters? What does it mean? Are they better at what they do? Are they more worthy of note? See, I never talk about how many followers I've got. I never talk about that. I did have about 16,000 Periscope followers at one point. But of course, a lot of those must have been bots because, that's what I mean. It means nothing. I'm fine, Jen. Thanks for asking. That's thrown me off. Behavior people have when they look at you as a number instead of a person. I never mention how many followers I've got because I don't care. I don't give a shit whether there's 2 people in my broadcast or 2,000. I genuinely don't care. I don't understand it. I'd rather have 2 people interacting with me. But I can see it happening, people wanting to talk before the challenge, people wanting to talk to other broadcasters who have large numbers of followers to gain them more viewers, rather than just because they want to talk to the person. I know for a fact that I've been invited into a couple of other people's broadcasts because of the numbers, because there's nearly 17,000 followers on there. Not because they particularly wanted to talk to me as a person. That's weird to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, we've gone off on a tangent. That isn't even what the conversation was about. Now we've made it about that. When I went to an early Periscope meetup, people were literally going around wanting to know how many followers you had. That's what I mean. Why? Make a good point, and people base their self-worth on that instead of the good person that they are. Or even just being good at something. There are people on this app, right, that are very good at what they do, who are talented in whatever field it may be, or are a good broadcaster, in terms of engagement with their audience or whatever. But they don't have high numbers of followers. They probably haven't bought them in the early stages. They probably haven't, paid for a large number of followers. So they've got fewer followers than, but they don't get any recognition. I guess the challenge is good in that way. Maybe these people will come to the forefront. But the number of followers you have isn't indicative of how good you are as a broadcaster. I went into a broadcast, was it last week? Where there were people, and there was, people who had a large number of followers, and you know that, and that's what I mean about ego. Only one person who was in the broadcast, who was in the call and engaged with the audience or answered questions or said hi or responded to comments. And it gives off the impression that they're better than you because they've got more followers, so they're not going to bother acknowledging that you're even there or talk to you in the comments. I don't think that makes a good broadcaster. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit how many followers you've got. If you can't be arsed to talk to your audience, you're a shit broadcaster. We've forgotten how to communicate with each other as people. It's really interesting what you're saying about meeting people in person and them asking you how many followers they had. Like, that's weird. You're talking to someone face to face in person and that's what you ask them. That's weird. You're right. Nice to meet you. My name is. Exactly. Like, we've forgotten how to talk to each other as people. Because the more followers, the more advertising. This platform doesn't have advertising. It's not that, because it's not like an algorithm pushing bigger broadcasters because there's ad revenue. This platform doesn't have ad revenue. This is at the heart of what you were trying to do. Exactly. I was trying to connect people and get them talking to each other. But we don't want that. God forbid. God forbid that people get introduced to each other and they connect and they make contact with each other and talk to each other as human beings. Fucking imagine that. It's contentious stuff. I am talking about HAPS. I'm talking about watching a broadcast on HAPS where the person who was broadcasting didn't even bother acknowledging the audience. You used to get that on Periscope as well, where you'd get Periscopers, and I was a VIP badge holder on Periscope, but I never got into that whole fucking clique nonsense. You used to get broadcasters who would only follow other VIP broadcasters and they wouldn't like engage with the minions because they're bigger or better than the rest of the people on the platform. It's a fucking internet app. And in the grand scheme of things, in terms of social media, Periscope, nobody even knew what Periscope... And anybody who wasn't on Periscope didn't even know what Periscope was. Like, you might be Periscope famous, but nobody in the real world knows who the fuck you are. So rein your ego in, seriously. Big social media platforms do have advertising, it could be related. Trying to get more people to join them because they're a good platform. Yeah, they're trying to get more people to join them, but okay, that did happen. Broadcasters from Periscope. I know it did. And it's starting to translate on here as well. I've only been here a month and I can see it happening. The cliques are forming already. Aye, Perry famous. See, maybe I've got a totally different perspective on this because my whole adult life I've worked with actual famous people. You know, musicians, comedians, people who have had 40 years in the music industry, who have been at the very top of that industry and been well known worldwide, who are actually famous. And they're normal people. And they're down to earth. And they engage with their audience. And they're, you know, none of this I'm better than you shit. So when I see it from people on here or Periscope or Instagram or whatever social media, and they're well known on a social media platform, they think they're better than everybody. It makes me want to laugh, but it also makes me cringe. Building an organic following takes time and work. It does. Absolutely does. It's like a reversal. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm not sitting here saying, you know, this as someone who's bitter, or, but I've got quite a big following myself. If you want to look at it in those terms. I don't look at it in those terms. I don't give a shit. Does that make sense? Anyway, we've totally veered off the subject. We're meant to be talking about Penny Blind Date. Translating onto Haps on a Sunday evening / afternoon. I'm glad you understand, Michelle. I'm glad somebody understands, Michelle. Because sometimes I think I just talk shit. I shouldn't say that, because apparently if I say I talk shit on the internet, that's profanity. It's really good to think about these things and not get swept away with the hype. Correct. So you're well known on an internet app. Big whoop-de fucking do. Are you able to pay your mortgage? Is your electricity bill getting paid? Do you know what I'm saying? It means nothing. It's like people who want to be famous just for the sake of being famous, just for being famous, without, like, it used to be back in the day, you became famous as a byproduct of being good at something. You were a good actress, you were a good musician, you were good at something, you had a skill, and being good at that thing elevated you to a point where you became well known for it, right? So the byproduct was fame. Now you've got people who just want to be famous for the sake of being famous, who have absolutely zero skill and zero talent, and I'm not saying that about people on this app. I'm just saying that generally as a society, that's the route we've gone down. And you're right, it's all connected. What we value, what we cherish, what we hold dear is skew-if. This has become a rant. Why has this become a rant? This was meant to be about Penny Blind Date on a Sunday evening afternoon, trying to connect people, trying to help you find love. Anyway, I need more tea because I've ranted so much. This wasn't meant to be a rant. It's ended up as one. Because the ones that came in and started to debate kind of killed the mojo of the original intent. Correct. That's exactly what happened. This wasn't up for debate. It wasn't meant to be contentious. It wasn't meant to be a debate or an argument. It was just who wants to take part in this thing that's going to happen. And now I just feel meh. Maybe that's why they don't interact with the comments. Maybe that's why they pretend like they're better than everybody else and just ignore the cheap seats. Maybe it's because they don't want their mojo knocked down. Maybe we should make it coffee then. Why did you let Boris return to England? Tony. He should never have been here in the first place. Meh. How many ways can you say meh? Oh, I'm getting tired. I don't know if it's the cocodamol or if it's the lack of sleep. Should have locked him up. Nope, sorry, you can have him back. He's all yours. You can keep him. Excuse me. I'll tell you another thing. Before I go make a cup of tea, here's another little thing I want to rant about. Do I want to rant about this? Fuck it. Let's say it anyway. It's on a broadcast, and what is it they call that on the Friday where they're showcasing people's broadcasts? What is it called? It could be the painkillers. Adderall in my brain. What is that called when they're showcasing? And don't get me wrong, I think that's a good idea. Showcasing people's broadcasts. I forget what they call it. But Peter said something today where he said showing the best broadcasts of the week. And I kind of wanted to correct him on that. And I wanted to say to him, well, no, it's the favourite broadcasts of the week. Just because it hasn't been favourited and highlighted doesn't mean it's no good. Do you know what I mean? Like, using terminology like the best broadcasts of the week is basically saying that everybody else's broadcasts are about shit. And these things are subjective. Peter and Pablo are going to like broadcasts that are different to the broadcasts that I would like. Do you know what I'm saying? There was a broadcast where Reda, I don't know if he's still here, he actually got someone live on the broadcast to download haps there and then during a conversation in real time live on stream. That for me should have been highlighted as a best broadcast of the week, but it wasn't, because obviously these things are subjective, and everybody finds different things as a favourite. So calling them the best, I kind of wanted to say, you mean your favourite broadcasts, not the best broadcasts of the week. But I decided to not say it. But I think we should be careful about writing everybody else off. Like, call them the favourite broadcasts of the week. That's what they are, and they absolutely should be showcased. But don't say that they're the best broadcasts, because other people's content's good as well, you know? Like I say, Reda should have, or Reda, is it Reda? Reda. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He should have been highlighted for getting someone to actually download the app there and then live on stream, as far as I'm concerned, but that's subjective. Broadcasters with the biggest numbers of viewers. Nope. No, I don't think it's based on viewers. I think it's just based on someone's favourites. And that's fine. But just call them the favourites. Call them the favourite broadcasts of the week, not the best broadcasts of the week. Because who decides what something is the best? Everybody's idea of the best is something different. Like, I thought the interview with Rev and Native Graffiti the other night was a fantastic broadcast. I don't think they've done... was that last night or the night before? That won't get highlighted. That won't get highlighted as a best broadcast of the week. A best broadcast of the week. Favourite broadcast of the week. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody's idea of what the best is something different. So don't call it the best broadcast of the week. Call it your favourite broadcast of the week. That's more honest. You'll never be the favourite, but you do your best. I never even saw that comment before I said that. No, I genuinely think that interview with Rev is probably one of the best broadcasts I've watched this week. But it won't... You're right, it won't get highlighted because it's a certain... It was a really good broadcast, but it won't get highlighted because we're talking about two people's favourites. And that's fine. But call it your favourite broadcasts of the week. Don't call it the best broadcasts of the week, because that's not true. It's not honest. It was a Friday night. All my days I've run into Michelle. because I'm not sleeping. I don't know which day it is, let alone what time it is or anything. I really wish I could sleep. Do you know what? Was it last night or the night before? The night before last, I got 4 hours, but I didn't get them all together. I got like 90 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It was staggered like naps, but I got 4 hours. That's the most sleep I've had in about 6 nights. I was really pleased with that night. So my head's fried. Friday night, was it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like now that we're on a rant, I may as well just let it all out. Let it all out, Helen. So, Perry blind date on a Sunday. I feel like I've had a few like days of it. You know, it's like earlier today. It's another thing that's interesting is the way that people try to take you down is to make out that they don't know who you are, and that harks back to the whole ego thing with the numbers and the, you know, like who are you kind of thing. I was in a broadcast again. I forget which days which. Was it yesterday or was it today? And someone was in the call-in, and I was commenting in the comments, and they couldn't see my comments. And they know fine well who I am because they've known me for a long time on social media. And okay, I'll pop into the professors in a minute as well. I'll close this down. But before I do go, I want to finish this. It's interesting the way that people take each other. Like that's the way that they take you down on here, is to, like they said, I don't know this Helen person. If you want to talk to this Helen person, I'll drop off. Knowing full well who the Helen person is, and that they'd already blocked the Helen person and the Helen person had blocked them back. In the same way that, was it yesterday? In the same way that someone else who didn't like something that I had said tried to make out in the broadcast that they didn't know who I was, even though they had followed me on every social media for about 3 years. I don't know who that is. You fucking do know who it is. Like, but that's the way you're trying to take you down, is to, do you know what I mean? It's all about numbers and ego and how well known you are. Fucking weirdos. Anyway, Perry blind date, Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings. I'm gonna have to delete this. The professor, he's called PhD of old school. Can we find the professor's doodah so we'll all migrate there? I like the professor. I didn't know he was on. When did he go live? Hang on. Let me see if I can find a link to his broadcast. I want you to bury me. Because he normally goes on a Monday. This is Sunday. Hang on, let's see if I can get the... I've got the link, here we go. On the track, stoop to kiss me, I can't kiss you back. Oh, whoa, sorry. You've made up for what I lacked. To head high. Right, that's the professor's broadcast. I might not come in, I might need to try and sleep or something. Have been drawn, and here's the place. When I die, I want you to bury me. Enough of an epitaph for me. I've lost what I was looking for. I don't know if I've still got people in here or not. I'm going to have to leave the replay up so that Mark can watch it back, because he's going to think we were bitching about things and we weren't. I just struggle with egos, that's all. And I don't know why people had to argue with honestly, let it be. I came in to talk about the dating game. I think you called it the dating game in the States. We called it blind date in this country. And I've done it on Periscope in the past and wanted to reintroduce it on Haps. And that's what the broadcast was about, setting up the dating game on Haps. And people just kept coming in wanting to debate it. And it's like, I didn't realise it was up for debate. Like, there's nothing contentious or... Is it Tam Tam? Okay. I noticed that she's already got her 250 though, so that's good. They've got their numbers. It's good. Right, okay. I don't know who else is here, but if you all want to migrate over to the professor's broadcast, I've put the comments in. I put the link in the comments. There's my brain freezing up. That's tiredness setting in. Right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for popping in. Have a good night. My soul. I don't know if this is the right thing I've put up.